Hey everyone, Shabby here and welcome back to another episode of the SWE Universe Mode. We are here tonight for Adrenaline. And of course we have got a few debuts here for you on the first episode since our Clash of the Titans pay-per-view, isn't it? And here we go, we're going to start tonight's episode off with some tag team action. Introducing first, playing the role of your jobbers for the evening, it's Mr. Blake and Mr. Murphy. We've not seen much of Blake and Murphy, actually, have we, in this universe? Which is a bit of a shame, because I felt like they had a future, to be honest, in NXT. Not anything major, but I felt like they had a future. I felt there was something for them moving forward. I felt that they were decent enough heels, especially with Alexa Bliss as well. It was looking pretty good for them, but they, for some reason, WWE love to split tag teams up, especially over the last year or so. They're nothing but, it's like they get themselves a nice strong tag team division, then one by one start to split all the teams down for I don't know, some bizarre reason, but that's the reason why. And I think it's nice that we put them back together on this game, and we will do on 2K18 as well if they're both on 2K18, which we can't necessarily guarantee at the moment because neither of them have really been appearing on NXT, have they really? So they might have been dropped off the game, to be honest. But if they're not, the models are already on there, the attires are already on there. I think it would make sense to leave them on there, but it depends if 2K need the space, I suppose. There could be other people that would be better utilising that space, but if space is not an issue, then why not keep these two guys in? And you never know. Big victories in matches like this against a big debuting team here on Adrenaline could really force Blake and Murphy up the card. But here is their opponents making their debut in SWE. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. It is, of course, the world's greatest tag team. Just realised they're wearing their Team Angle coat. It's a little bit outdated, isn't it? Of course, Kurt Angle is currently in the American Alpha stable here on Adrenaline alongside American Alpha and Jack Swagger. And no, before you ask, he is not Jason Jordan's father in our SWE Universe mode. That would be insane. Shelton Benjamin is actually Jason Jordan's father. Oh god. What a bizarre freaking storyline that is. It is absolutely amazing, isn't it? Here we go, underway. Charlie Haas and Blake to start things off. Blake's the lucky one. He's the one going out of Alexa Bliss, I believe. Running power slam here by Blake on Charlie Haas. We have got for you then a few more debuts here this evening. Yeah. Here we are. Oh, well, we've got one in a match. Two as managers potentially, and another one as well coming up for you later on this evening. Also tonight we're going to see Kurt Angle go one-on-one against Kazuchika Okada. Of course, that match was on the cards a few weeks back, and during Okada's entrance he was assaulted from behind from a masked man who we've not really seen much of since then, to be honest. But that'd be interesting. We can actually finally get to that match this evening. Also tonight we have got a #1 contendership match for Dalton Castle's Intercontinental Championship. That is going to be between the individuals of Roderick Strong, Bobby Roode and Matt Riddle. Pretty good looking triple threat match that actually in our main event. And the rest of the matches I'm not going to tell you because they're involving debutants and so forth. So you'll have to wait and see on them ones. Of course, you'll probably see it if you look in the comment section down below. But don't, not the comment section, the description. But don't look at the description if you don't want to be spoiled. Right, dark matches here this evening. We have had Larry Zbyszko lose to Tatsumi Fujinami one-on-one. We have also had Rich Swann get a victory over one half of the current tag team champions, Johnny Gargano. That's a big win, that is, for Rich Swann. Maybe start something special for him moving forward on this Adrenaline roster. Of course, probably trying to fight his way into the Cruiserweight Championship picture. Although I think with what has been going on recently and looking at the rankings, PJ Tovey has now promised Will Ospreay a shot at the Adrenaline Cruiserweight Championship. That will happen in a few weeks' time at our next pay-per-view, which we haven't named yet, of course. Not that far ahead of ourselves. So we know that already. We've got one match then fixed in for the championships already. Then we've got P.T. Williams versus Will Ospreay for the Cruiserweight Championship. Also, been announced as well by PJ Tovey. We're going to see, finally, DIY defending their tag team championships at the pay-per-view against the team of Phoenix and Drago, who have been absolutely incredible so far in this Universe mode. So 2 matches already booked in for our pay-per-view. And of course, we'll know another match here later on this evening. Like I said, we have our main event triple threat match. Shelton Benjamin now in control of Blake here. Shelton, of course, is on the verge of making his return finally to SmackDown. Was due to return last year, but of course it didn't quite pan out because of injury problems. I believe now that he is fully... he's fully healed now and on the verge of making his return, which would be great. Chad Gable needs a new tag team partner since he got dumped by Jason Jordan. Still, I just can't even. Yeah, it leaves me speechless. I did do a shabby talk on it yesterday, actually. So if you're interested, earlier in the week, so say, if you are interested in what I thought about the situation, then you can go and check that out. It was interesting, actually. I came up with quite a few ideas of how the storyline could move forward and who would be behind the blackmail. Because there's one thing they've sort of left out that storyline so far is who was behind the actual blackmail. As Shelton Benjamin there with the flatliner into the pin on Murphy. 1, 2, only a 2 count. But now Murphy survived that. What is Shelton Benjamin's finish maneuver? I always assume that his finishing maneuver is some sort of super kick. I don't know though. I don't know why. Neckbreaker there by Murphy on Shelton Benjamin. Murphy now dragging Shelton into the ring. What would happen here for Blake and Murphy if they pulled off this victory? Because it wouldn't surprise me. The way that things have happened over the last few weeks in this Universe mode, especially with the likes of... who was the jobbing team on Mayhem who got the victory over Sumerian Death Squad? It was... oh, God. Was it Los Matadors, wasn't it? Oh, my God. What a weird event that was. It really was dodgy as hell. So hopefully we can stay away from that and we can actually get over the people we want to get over. I think this is the only real squash match we've got planned in for this evening. I think everything else is more of a chance for... We do have a few debuts. Actually, I got it wrong. There's an extra debut that I missed off that is involved. What's going on here? So my computer just kicked into life doing something. I don't know why. Go away. There you go. It's gone. It's gone, don't worry. My network just popped up and started playing Battleground again. So I think I'm going to have to change the world's greatest tag team outfit. Just get rid of the Team Angle logos, I think. Because they're not part of Team Angle, are they? They're their own entity here on Adrenaline. They're past the need of having some sort of owner or manager like that now. As in comes Charlie Hart to take on Blake. So I've actually got 6 matches for you on this tonight's show. Normally we only have 5, but I felt like there was a big debut that was going to be missed off and it wasn't going to happen for a few weeks, but I thought it has to happen tonight, really. It has to happen. And if you've seen the Mayhem episode a few days ago, you'll know exactly who this big debut is going to be, because we mentioned it there. Blake now bringing Charlie Hart back up to his feet. So I like Blake and Murphy because they look very similar, but they actually have their names on their tights, which is much more easier for me to commentate on. There's the pin. What are you doing, Shelton? You just stood there and stared at it. Right, you deserve the loss here. Come on, people. Give us some bloody good AI for a change. All I require is good AI. Please do this one thing for me. So Blake now in the corner with Charlie Hart. Blake staring Charlie Hart down. Bit of a weird one. And now up with the elbow drop from the middle rope. And Blake and Murphy taking firm control of this tag team match now. Like I said, they're desperate for this. They've not done too well so far in this Universe mode. And I know what a victory on TV could do for you. 10 points in the rankings, tag team rankings. And of course a further 5 points for these two guys as well. There's the brainbuster into the frog splash. And they might have this here, you know. Pinned by Murphy on Charlie Haas. They do have it, Blake. Why do tag team matches never go the way they're supposed to? Freaking Blake and Murphy. Yeah. Oh, I'm dying. I am dying. It seems to be tag team matches, isn't it? Oh my god. Its tag team matches never seem to go the way that they're supposed to. They always seem to go haywire. All of our dodgy wins, all of our really dodgy wins have come in tag team matches, I'm sure they have. We've not really had that many dodgy singles victories, but the likes of Diego and Fernando defeating Sumerian Death Squad, and then there's been quite a few, hasn't there? And this is another one to add to the long line of dodgy jobbers. But Blake and Murphy, give it to them. They've done really well here. It's PJ Toby's problem, not mine, I suppose. There you go, PJ. Sort through that crap. Now, this is not the only time we are going to see Benjamin and Haas. We do have them penciled in for a few singles matches over the next few weeks as well. It is against other members of tag teams, so it will definitely help push them through. And if they can win those singles matches, they can get their tag team ranking back up to where it should be as well. We'll have to wait and see what the future has in hold for these two guys. All these four guys, should I say. Because that victory for Blake and Murphy is massive. That's their first real... It's their first match on TV, wasn't it? Well, they have matches on TV. And they're saying that. They defeated the Von Erichs last month in a dark match. And they've lost to the... So they've had 3 matches so far, Blake and Murphy. They've won 2 and lost 1. They beat the Von Erichs, and now they've beaten the world's greatest tag team, but they lost to the Usos. And the lights cut out. And that could only mean one thing. The introduction of our Adrenaline Women's Champion here. Nikki Cross, of course, successfully defended the belt at the previous pay-per-view in a triple threat match against Paige and Ember Moon. And we understand that she's got a little bit of a challenged issue here. She believes that there is no competition on Adrenaline. She believes that there's nobody here who has any chance of taking that belt away from her. And to prove it, she's challenged anybody in the back to a championship match here this evening. All they need to do is just come down to the ring and face her one-on-one. Who is going to take up the opportunity of a match against Nikki Cross? There's a lot of very talented females on this roster. Be interesting to see which one takes up the chance this evening. You see our champion entering the ring. Trying to step over the top. Not doing a very good job. Let's see who it is who's taken up the challenge. Who is this? Nikki Cross looking for some more competition here on the Adrenaline roster. And here we have somebody making her debut here on Adrenaline as well. It is Taya Valkyrie. She has made the trade across from Octane to be here on Adrenaline, alongside, of course, Johnny Mundo, who has joined this roster from Mayhem. And Nikki Cross is demanding more competition here, willing to put her championship on the line here this evening. And I don't know whether she's happy with this or not, but she's got more competition, but it's going to be a serious threat to a women's championship here on Adrenaline. Taya Valkyrie, what a way to make an impact. What a way to make a debut here on Adrenaline, straight into a championship match. And Nikki Cross could regret her decision here straight away. Taya Valkyrie, one of the best female wrestlers out there at the moment. Working, of course, Lucha Underground and AAA, along with a lot of other independents, as well as TNA now she works for, or Global Force Wrestling, should I say. Doing a bit of work with them, of course, due to their talent sharing with AAA. But Nikki Cross could be in trouble here. So here we go then, Taya Valkyrie making her debut here on Adrenaline. Straight in for a match for the Adrenaline Women's Championship. Nikki Cross put out the open challenge. And there's going to be 2 championship defenses for Nikki Cross in a very short period of time as well. Does she have it in her locker to pick up another victory here? Like I said, she defeated Paige and Ember Moon in a triple threat match a couple of, well, a few days ago actually, in the Clash of the Titans pay-per-view. And now she has to take on the debutante to Adrenaline, Taya Valkyrie. Former, of course, women's tag team champion Taya Valkyrie. And of course there his fiancé, husband-to-be on the outside, Johnny Mundo. Of course he also joined the Adrenaline roster this month actually. But quite a lot of ins and outs on Adrenaline. Of course we announced last week that Hideo Itami and Hideo Itami came to Adrenaline in place of Jake Roberts. Johnny Mundo came to Adrenaline in place of Chris Jericho. I can tell you as well that Taya Valkyrie has joined Adrenaline from Octane, and Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso, the Usos, are going to be moving to Throwdown. That's a little bit of a funny one that I've done. It sort of makes sense the way that I've done it. It's sort of like a triple trade with myself and, of course, PJ Tovey as well. So that'll be interesting. Coming here, like I said, in place of the Usos, we've got Taya Valkyrie, one of a man, which we will find out in our next match who that is going to be. So I'm not going to spoil it all too much. We have got, of course, World Greatest Tag Team joined this roster, replacing the Briscoe brothers, who have now moved to Carnage. I'm just trying to go through and make sure that I've got everyone on here now. Trying to make sure that I have actually announced everyone. And of course, we've still got one more big match for you here this evening. Well, we've got a couple of big matches for you, don't get me wrong, but we've got our big debut. We've got two big debuts, haven't we? On top of this one. But the big one that was announced on Mayhem, that is coming up for you later on as well. Big name from Mayhem joining Adrenaline, and will be facing off against Apollo Crews in his first match here on Adrenaline. As Taya Valkyrie in firm control here of the Adrenaline Women's Champion, Nikki Cross. Taya now stalking Nikki. We could see a first title change here outside of a pay-per-view, as Taya with the Northern Lights suplex and rolls it through. Taking Nikki up. Oh, the deadlift strength into the suplex. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2. I thought the refs hadn't hit the mat 3 times, and I really did. I really, really did. Taya Valkyrie in firm control of this one then. Really showing the Adrenaline Women's Champion exactly what she can do. Of course, Nikki Cross yet to lose a single match in Season 2 of this Universe mode. Nikki back up. Oh, step up Inseguri, taking Taya down. Big boot in the chest of Taya as well. Taya rolls back up to her feet now, catching Nikki Cross into a backdrop. Taya Valkyrie now taking a bit of time to taunt the crowd and have a little dance, as you do. Big move over there, and Taya still just in firm control of Nikki Cross. Nikki catching the boot of Taya. Taya, oh, bounces through with the reverse Inseguri. Taya is dominating her here. And again, just stalking Nikki Cross. There's a Northern Lights suplex. Rolled through into the Brainbuster. And Taya Valkyrie surely is going to be our new women's champion here on Adrenaline 2 and 3. And she is. I cannot believe how easy that was. We've got a brand new women's champion. Wow. That shocked me a little bit, as it really has shocked me. And it wasn't just like a victory, it was an easy victory by Taya. There was a brainbuster. That was the first one, wasn't it? The first one was not quite enough to finish this off. But the second variant was. And there was the pin by Taya Valkyrie to pick up the victory and to pick up the Adrenaline Women's Championship. So, for the first time in SWE Season 2, we have seen a title change in a weekly show. But not only that, Taya Valkyrie marks her first appearance on Adrenaline by walking out of here with the championship. And I'm sure the likes of Johnny Mundo and the other guys will be more than hoping that they can emulate this success. What is wrong with her teeth? My God. And time then for our big debutant from Mayhem to make his appearance. Of course, like I said, if you watch Mayhem the other night, you'll know exactly who this is going to be. If not, you're pretty sure you know who it is right now. The phenomenal AJ Styles has joined Adrenaline. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. He was part, of course, of the stable. He's part of the Bullet Club stable over on Mayhem alongside Finn Balor, as well as, of course, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. However, to get Matanza over to Mayhem, which was a massive trade deal for PJ Toby, he needed Matanza as a genuine opposition for Brock Lesnar, which if you've seen the Mayhem episode, you'll know that he was genuine opposition. He had to give something big back to Adrenaline, and this was the one thing that made the most sense. Mainly because of... it was... you just look at the combination of matches you can have here. Shinsuke Nakamura, Okada, Zayn, Kevin Owens. Just to name a few incredible matches that AJ Styles has here in his future. It really is going to be awesome. I love the fact that Daniel Bryan was taking the piss out of this whole thing. This whole storyline by telling Chad Gable he's his father. I thought that was just bloody hilarious, that. And of course, AJ Styles' first opponent here on Adrenaline is going to be a man who's not had a lot of exposure so far in this universe mode. And that is Apollo Crews. But you never know, a victory in a match like this really could propel him up the ranks and give him more opportunities in the future. He's actually scheduled to be on next week's show as well, Apollo Crews. He's got a match against Neville, so that'd be interesting. Neville, of course, currently bottom of the rankings in SWE. Can't seem to pick up a victory at all. And next week he's got an opportunity to see if he can actually pick one up against Apollo Crews. But Apollo, he will not want to lose 2 weeks in a row. He won't even want to lose once. And I think both Neville and AJ Styles have really got a lot on their plate here this evening. Apollo Crews. It's going to be an interesting match, this. I think Apollo Crews is a very underrated star in WWE. I know he's being utilised a bit better now as part of this Titus brand situation, but I feel like he needs to spend a bit of time in the old acting class, I think, just to develop a bit more of a character. He's fantastic in the ring. You cannot deny that whatsoever, but we need to build him up a little bit, don't we? And for us, this could be a great opportunity for him. Great chance for both these guys. AJ desperate to get the win on his debut here. Not at the best of times over on Mayhem. A couple of big losses in #1 contendership matches. And of course, like I said, Apollo Crews not really set the world on fire yet in SWE or WWE. So he needs to think about picking up a big win. This is the sort of win that if Crews can pull this off, he could be escalated up into the Intercontinental Championship picture. Why not? Why the freaking hell not? What have I got going on? Oh, I know what I've got going on. We've got some big stuff happening for you the next few weeks, actually. Some big stuff. Apollo Crews here just twisting the head of AJ Styles. Just realised I've forgotten to do something. Okay. It was quite important to do as well. Okay, well, I'll get it done. Crews now up on the middle rope, dropping the double elbows right across the face of AJ Styles and stamping on the arm as well. How about a brand new women's champion here on Adrenaline? Not been done at all on Season 2 so far. But this is the first championship match we've seen, let alone championship change. And it's big, isn't it? It's nice. I think it's nice to have some every now and again, rather than confining championship matches solely to pay-per-views. I think myself and PJ Toby are going to have to look at maybe giving them matches around a little bit more freely, I think. Maybe not for new champions, but for people that have held the belts for quite some time. People like, for example, DIY. They've now held the belts for over a month. We know they're facing off against Phoenix and Drago at the pay-per-view, but could that match have been a little bit earlier in the week, earlier in the month maybe? Do you want to see that? Do you want to see more championship matches? Or would you rather them be a bit more special and only happen at the special pay-per-views? I don't know. I think if we do too many championship matches, it might devalue the championship a little bit. But AJ Styles with a 2 count from the phenomenal forearm. Let's look at the tongue twister. Now AJ lining up Apollo Crews. Hoist him up. This could be a quick victory here for AJ if he hits this as well. He's hit the phenomenal forearm. He's hit the Styles Clash. There's the pin. 1, 2. No, and again Apollo Crews kicked out. Ooh, interesting. Like I said, Apollo really knows that this match is really make or break for him at the moment, really. Either he can push himself into a bit more of a consistent championship picture, or he can be pushed back into obscurity in the dark matches. Double powerbomb. Apollo now bringing Styles back up to his feet, and a step up into Guri right to the side of the head. Apollo Crews just taunting away. Styles back in control, sending Crews into the corner. Crews catches him with a boot in the face, though. Into a short Saito suplex. Apollo Crews now just pressing AJ above his head and drops him. In for the standing moonsault by Apollo Crews. 1, 2. Oh, and AJ kicked out now as well. AJ looked like he struggled there, though. He really had to put his back into that. AJ back up on his feet, but Crews caught him, but AJ now falling behind Crews. But AJ just not able to build on that aggression. Crews running forearm. AJ dropping, and Apollo Crews is slowly taking full control of this match. Clothesline, a second clothesline. Big splash in the corner. Wow, you got some big height on that. And another huge clothesline by Apollo Crews. A little bit glitchy there as well. But AJ Styles will be breaking out. AJ catching Apollo Crews into a powerbomb, rolls through as well. Stacks him up. 2. Oh, and again, it's only a 2 count. What a match here between AJ Styles and Apollo Crews. I really wasn't expecting the quality that we've had here, to be honest. AJ Styles once again stalking Apollo Crews. In for a phenomenal forearm. Takes him down, second of the evening. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And AJ Styles does pick up a victory here on his debut in Adrenaline. And Apollo Crews, although he lost, put on a very good performance here. And that must make PJ Toby think a bit more about potentially using him a bit better here on Adrenaline. Like I said, he is penciled in for a match next week against Neville on the old TV show. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for that. Maybe he can make hay for what has happened here this evening. Or maybe Neville can finally start to turn his universe mode around a little bit. Standing moonsault there by Apollo Crews. This is the point in the match where I thought he'd turn this one around, but unfortunately for him it just wasn't quite enough. There was a phenomenal forearm. And of course, it was enough to keep Apollo Crews down for the 3. AJ Styles victorious, takes the ranking points. And what will SWE Adrenaline hold for AJ Styles over the next few weeks, building towards our next pay-per-view? I believe that PJ is going to give him an opportunity to work his way into the championship picture. But let's wait and see what happens on that. That could be a big bit of spoiler news I'll give you there. But so far in Adrenaline, AJ Styles is 1 match, 1 win. So maybe a championship, no more contendership matches. The thing is that, like I've said before, we're gonna take a look at the rankings, but the rankings is not the be-all and end-all. We know that AJ Styles is a very quality wrestler, and we know that Styles versus Nakamura could be a fantastic match. Just because Styles hasn't got the most ranking points doesn't mean we can't have Styles versus Nakamura. Doesn't mean that at all. And here we go into our next match of the evening. Another time for some debuts here. First of all, entering the match is going to be, it's coming out as War Machine, but this is going to be a singles match for Warbeard Hanson. First time I'm going to see Hanson in a singles match in this universe mode. And he is going to be taking on a debutant member of the universe. But it is going to be a debutant member of a new team here to Adrenaline as well. We've already seen the world's greatest tag team earlier on this evening. But there is another team. I've already given a slight hint about it earlier on. Don't want to give away too many spoilers. Usually you've only got to wait like 10 seconds. You can't wait 10 seconds. Well, what can you do? What can you do if you can't wait that long? So his opponent is going to be representing the new Worldwide Underground stable. It is going to be Jack Evans. And of course, Johnny Mundo and PJ Black will be at ringside for this one. That's right, Worldwide Underground have joined the Adrenaline roster. Johnny Mundo from Mayhem, PJ Black from Octane, and Jack Evans has come from the unpicked pool to join the roster here. So when I was saying earlier on about the Usos joining Throwdown, that was in place of Taya Valkyrie and PJ Black. So the Usos are now, that might not seem like a very fair share for me, but it does. It's the Usos are someone that I possibly need for something that I'm building towards in the future. So I think that although I'm losing PJ Black and Taya Valkyrie, two real good members of my roster, I think I'm happy. I think I'm happy just about. Not like super happy, but happy-ish. Oh, PJ Toga's good. So this is going to be Jack Evans versus Warbeard Hanson. A little bit of a David versus Goliath match here, isn't it, really? But I think it's going to be an interesting concept, this one. A very interesting concept. And, of course, what effect will the likes of PJ Black, Johnny Mundo, and Raymond Rowe have at ringside? Of course, this one, because it is between two members of two tag teams, there is tag team ranking points on the line here as well. There's 5 tag team ranking points on the go, as well as 5 singles at points as well. So not quite as good as winning a tag team match, but still better than nothing, really. It pushes you on a little bit. And this is what PJ Toby's done over the next few weeks. There's a few more of these sort of matches. Singles guys facing off against singles guys from other tag teams. So there's quite a few of these coming up on top of the normal tag team matches as well. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, actually. Good chance to see some people in positions they wouldn't normally be in. And I remember seeing Warbeard Hanson, actually going for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship not too long ago. About a year or two ago, maybe. I don't know if he ever won any championships in Ring of Honor, apart from the Tag Team Championships, but there's definitely a possibility that he could push on and do that sort of thing in Ring of Honor, so why not here in Adrenaline as well? Jack Evans now rolling Hanson through into that short DDT. They're just stamping on the arm of Hanson. And again, just stamping on the back of the arm. And Jack Evans locking in the armbar. Trying to bring the big man down with a submission. Probably a clever move. But Hanson rolled it through, and there's a big right hand. Another one's well to the face. Hanson now sending Jack Evans into the turnbuckle. Evans fighting back with that spiked DDT. Wow, Hanson really got spiked up there right on the top of his head. Now the reverse dragon sleeper hold by Jack Evans on Hanson. But Hanson's fighting back with the knees. And a running DDT. There's the pin there by Hanson. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Hanson now just grabbing a hold of the shoulder blade of Jack Evans. It's cutting off the circulation. He's slamming the arm of Jack Evans into the mat as well. And there's a headbutt. And I think Hanson's taken full control of this match. Like I said, War Machine could really do with this. They've not had the best of times so far. They've had an opportunity at the Tag Team Championships, but apart from that, at which they lost that match, of course, apart from that, they've really not been able to set the world alight. So points are very important here for them. I don't know what Hanson's finish maneuver would be on his own, to be honest. I don't know. Jack Evans fighting back, catching Hanson now in the snap suplex. And now there's a reverse DDT. Evans now bringing Hanson back up to his feet, spinning heel kick to the gut. And a drop kick, a second drop kick, and into a neck breaker there by Jack Evans. Into the big right hand, and a reverse hurricanrana on Hanson. Can Jack Evans keep the big man down for the 3? 1, 2, only a 2 count. Jack Evans can't believe it. He thought he had the match won there. Evans slowly back up to his feet. Now bringing Hanson back, and what is that? What an... Jack Evans just chokeslammed Hanson into the 680 senton. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh my god, that would have been incredible. That would have been freaking incredible. The chokeslam into the 680 senton to the win would have been absolutely outstanding by Jack Evans. But unfortunately for him, Hanson still has a little bit left in the tank. Evans going for now. Super German suplex. Wow. The strength of Jack Evans. He's wrestling like he's Matanza Cueto here. Jack Evans springboard hurricanrana. And again now sending Hanson into the turnbuckle. Oh, nice kick right in the gut there, but Hanson spins Jack Evans around. Dropping the snake eyes. Can Hanson turn this one round now? He needs to. Saito suplex just folding Jack Evans in half. Hanson up on the middle rope. See, Hanson's broken because he's done this before. He's definitely done this before. He's done this before in tag team matches. He doesn't want to do the move. I don't know what move it is he's trying to do, but it doesn't work. Maybe it's a finisher. Maybe that's why it's not working. Interesting. Hanson now though with a big jackknife powerbomb. And now again heading up to the middle rope. And again it's not working. Right, I need to check Hanson's moveset then. Where's my notes? Because Hanson is broken, ladies and gentlemen. Hanson Sig/Finn. I don't know what he's going for. Is it signature or finisher or whatever it is? It's not working. It's only a 1 count by Jack Evans on Hanson. But you'd have to think if Hanson's not able to hit his finishing maneuver, surely it's just a matter of time before Jack Evans picks up the victory here. Interesting. Jack Evans now with a snapmare on Hanson, slowing the pace of the match down. Jack Evans now bringing Hanson back up, catches him with a big right hand. There's the reverse Rana. I can't believe he chokeslammed him still, you know. I really could not believe he bloody chokeslammed him. Standing shooting star press. A standing moonsault as well now by Jack Evans, who's firmly in control of this match. If this is a 680, then surely he's got this one won. There's the 680. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Jack Evans picks up the victory on his debut in SWE. And the debut of Worldwide Underground is also successful. But how much is down to the good work of Hanson? How much is the good work, of Worldwide Underground? How much is down to the complete bugginess of Hanson not being able to hit his big high-impact maneuver? That is the question in hand here. I'm a bit disappointed in Hanson, but I realise that we have had this problem in the past in Season 1. I remember was it Season 1? It might have been Season 2. We did a match between War Machine and the Hardys, which lasted for about an hour for me. It was an Extreme Rules Tornado match. And both Hanson and Rowe would not, well, mainly Hanson, he kept it up in that middle turnbuckle and never hit in a move. So I wonder if that's a consistent problem we've had, but I've only just realised, because it's in a singles match, that the problem is there. I thought it was to do with a targeted error in tag team matches, but in a singles match, he's got one choice, and he stood there, stared down, and did not do anything. So I'm going to have a look at that. But either way, it is Jack Evans who gets the victory on his debut. Also, Worldwide Underground will receive 5 points in the tag team rankings as well. And what a great start for them. What a fantastic start for them. Taya Valkyries won the Adrenaline Women's Championship, and Jack Evans will win his debut. Worldwide Underground under a cracking start. And here we then go into our next match of the evening. We've been promising this match ever since we didn't get it a few weeks back. We are going to be seeing Kurt Angle versus Kazuchika Okada. The match we wanted to see a few weeks back, but of course Okada was attacked during his entrance. And is Vader? I don't think Kurt Angle's seen Vader as yet, but Vader sprinting down after Kurt Angle. Angle's still completely unaware, and Vader catches him into the Saito suplex. What? And Vader just assaulting Kurt Angle. I'm just a bit stunned about what I'm seeing here. What issue has Vader got here with Angle? Is he trying to work his way into the championship picture here? Is he trying to... I don't know, what is he trying to do? Angle slowly back up to his feet. He's struggling now. Slides back into the ring, just trying to get right in Vader's face, but Vader catching him once again. Off the ropes into the butterfly powerbomb by Vader on Kurt Angle. And Vader just destroying Kurt Angle. The big double axe handle to the back of the shoulders and the neck there. And we know Angle's had problems in the past with neck injuries, and Vader may have just built upon that. And I don't think this match between Angle and Okada is going to go ahead here this evening. Angle and Okada, next week, they're coming. And they're coming for you. So chilling words there from Vader. I don't know who they are, but apparently they're coming. And we're going to see them next week here on Adrenaline. I've got no idea what has got into Vader, or what symbol, or what he's trying to send message-wise here, but he's definitely got the attention of both Okada and Kurt Angle now. But enough of that, let's get into our main event here this evening. Triple threat match for the #1 contendership to the Intercontinental Championship. Bobby Roode, Roderick Strong, and Matt Riddle. And here we go. So in between the last two matches, like I said, Kurt Angle physically assaulted by Vader, who then exclaimed that they are coming and they're going to be here next week. Okada has joined Kurt Angle in the doctor's room. Okada, I think, maybe starting to believe Kurt Angle that he was not behind the assault on Okada a few weeks back. Maybe Okada's starting to see a few parallels here now. And who are they? And what are we going to see next week? There's just so many questions that this episode has opened up now, and I'm a little bit lost. I must admit, there's too much stuff going on in my life now. Too many brands, too many things to keep track of. But first of all, in this match, of course, we have Roderick Strong. Man who did not have the best of times last month. He did get himself in that Money in the Bank match, didn't he, in the end, though, did he? Am I going mad, or did he do that, at least? Let's have a look at the old paperwork. No, he didn't, did he? No, he didn't. He lost in a match against Sami Zayn for the Adrenaline number 1 contendership. And then he went on to face off against Matt Sydal for the Money in the Bank place, and he lost that match as well. So he did not have a very good time at all, did he? Old Roderick Strong. So this is a great chance for him. To be honest, he probably shouldn't be getting a match of this quality based on his previous results, but there you go. That's the way the cookie has crumbled. PJ Tover's given a big chance, and if he wins this match, it's the main event of a weekly show, so double points. So this is worth 20 ranking points. This instantly puts you straight back towards the top of the rankings. But of course, both Bobby Roode and Matt Riddle was going to want that situation as well. Now, Matt Riddle was a man who did make it into that Money in the Bank qualifier, or made it into the Money in the Bank ladder match, let's say. He got in there by winning a 6-man battle royal against Dalton Castle, who eventually went on to win the Intercontinental Championship, of course. Kevin Owens, the actual Intercontinental Champion at the time, Jack Swagger, Apollo Crews, and Joey Ryan. So with Matt Riddle defeating both the former Intercontinental Champion and the current Intercontinental Champion in that match, it just made sense for him to be in this one as well. And of course, Bobby Roode's here because he's just glorious, basically. No other reason why. Did Bobby Roode have a match last month? He lost in the Money in the Bank qualifier to the eventual winner, of course, Drew McIntyre. So Drew, if you don't know, if you've not seen Money in the Bank, or the Clash of the Titans pay-per-view at least, spoilers coming up if you haven't seen it, by the way, Drew Galloway is Mr. Money in the Bank. He can now cash in that briefcase at any time he wishes for a shot at the it could be any championship really, but a shot at the brand championship. So of course Nakamura will be keeping his head over his shoulder at the moment. Keep an eye out for Drew Galloway. I know you call him Drew Goodluck then. Drew Galloway or Drew McIntyre, whichever one you call him these days, lurking in the shadows behind him. I'm looking forward to this one actually. This should be a very interesting match. We've got some very different styles here. Matt Riddle bringing the ground and pound UFC style. We have got, of course, Roderick Strong, the sort of strong style, hard-hitting style. A lot of backbreakers as well, a lot of suplexes. And, of course, Bobby Roode is more slow, methodical, tactical style that he likes to utilise. And we are ready to be underway. Roderick Strong versus Bobby Roode versus Matt Riddle, who's looking a bit dodgy today, isn't he? The bell rings and we are underway as Riddle straightaway catching a hold of Bobby Roode. Now, it is my hope, and I'm 95% sure it will be, but on 2K18 it's my hope that two of these guys are going to be on the game. Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode, there's no reason why these two guys should not be on 2K18. And that would be fantastic for us, because it means we'll have very good versions of them. We'll have their correct movesets and taunts and everything on there as well, which would be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that. Can you imagine what Bobby Roode's entrance is going to be like on 2K18? I bet it's going to be glorious. That's all I can say. Matt Riddle there trying to chop block two men at once, but got a lot of Roderick Strong and not quite enough of Bobby Roode. But he does now chop block him, taking the knee. And now looking for a nice bit of head scissors takedown there on Roderick Strong, but Bobby Roode back up on his feet. Getting face to face with Matt Riddle, but Riddle again hitting him with a big insecurity, and Riddle's looking pretty good in this universe mode so far. Like I said, he was unable to win the Money in the Bank ladder match, but That wasn't exactly an easy match to win, was it really? 6 men all trying to climb a ladder at once. It's a very, very tricky match to win. Roode flips out of the backdrop into a spear on Roderick Strong, and Roode and Riddle are really destroying Strong here. Look at Riddle now, just backing away into the corner, just taking a break now, catching Bobby Roode with an arm drag takedown. Interesting set of moves whoever's created him has given him here. He's looking a bit pale. I don't think he's this pale anymore, and his legs are a bit skinny. I don't know if this Matt Riddle's generally that good, to be honest with you, but I like it. Thing is, I like Matt Riddle. I'm a Matt Riddle fan, and PJ Toby's always he's sort of said that he's not a fan of Matt Riddle yet. He seems to. He picked him in the draft. He's given him a lot of opportunities, so I think there's a bit more to Matt Riddle that PJ Toby lets on. I think he's a big fan, really. Bobby Roode now up to the middle, up to the top rope. Matt Riddle's on the outside, grounded. Bobby Roode, big splash on Roderick Strong. There's the pin. No, it's not. I take it all back. Riddle's back in the ring now. Taking Bobby Roode up into a gut wrench and landed him right on top of Roderick Strong. He's been busted open now. Riddle continuing the assault to the back of Bobby Roode. Riddle now with a shin breaker, keeps a hold of the leg into the dragon screw as well. And Riddle did a very good job of working on that leg. Of course, like I said, Riddle from the MMA background might be looking to utilize a submission hold in the future. So weakening the body parts such as the leg and the knee is definitely going to be beneficial in the long run. Bobby Roode though stalking Matt Riddle. Strong's out on the outside. Bobby Roode, there's the big glorious DDT into the pin. 1, 2, Strong's in. Oh my god. AI, what happened, man? What happened to AI? But Roderick Strong completely missed the pin, and Bobby Roode gets the victory. It wouldn't be fair to re-record that because, well, basically it's Roderick Strong's own fault, isn't it, really? And Bobby Roode is victorious. So Bobby Roode is going on to face off against Dalton Castle for the Intercontinental Championship here in a few weeks' time at our next Adrenaline pay-per-view. Look at Roderick Strong. My God, Rodney, come on. Sort your life out, man. Roderick Strong has been in terrible form so far, and I think he's not only let himself down there, but he's let down Matt Riddle as well. And Bobby Roode, the glorious one, has got himself a lucky victory here, and he is going on to face off against Dalton Castle, like I said, for that Intercontinental Championship. So that is the end of our episode of Adrenaline. I hope you have enjoyed it. I know this triple threat's been a little bit of a... well, it wasn't quite the main event we were hoping for, is it? But still, I think the match between AJ Styles and Apollo Crews definitely made up for it. That was a cracking match, that was. And of course, if you have enjoyed this episode of Adrenaline, please let us know by hitting that like button. And of course, subscribe. If you want to leave any comments down below, PJ Toby is down there hunting around like some sort of internet troll. He'll look at all your comments, and of course, he will start to build his cards based on some of your suggestions. I've been Shabba Gamer. PJ Toby's around there somewhere as well. And we'll see you all next time for our next episode of SWE, which I believe is going to be our second ever episode of Carnage in 2 days' time. Bye. One, two,